Welcome to Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee. This is the show that highlights Giles, Lawrence, and Maury counties, all from the pages of your local newspapers. I'm Scott Stewart. I'm the publisher of the Pulaski Citizen, the Giles Free Press, and Main Street Maury, and those are your community newspapers. We'd love to get you a copy of your local newspaper in your mailbox or on your computer screen every single week. All you have to do is get a subscription. You can get a subscription by doing one of the following. Call 931-363-3544. Call 615-452-4940 or call 931-762-1726. Any of those numbers for any of our papers, you will get you hooked up. Also, you can visit our websites, PulaskiCitizen.com, LawrenceCountyAdvocate.net, MainStreetMaury.com. Those are where you can go to find out everything you need to know about an online or traditional subscription to any of your local newspapers. Hey, I tell you what, let's get the wrap started this week with the Pulaski Citizen. The Pulaski Citizen wrap starts this week with our Citizen Spotlight, John Schumacher, whose photo graces that spot top and center of the front page. Also on page 1, despite discussing a proposed wheel tax for 2.5 hours last week, that issue has been pulled from the agenda of the February 18th County Commission meeting. Pulaski Citizen Live will be streaming that meeting next Tuesday, and not Monday, but Tuesday, starting at 9 a.m. It's Radio Auction Week, and the Shelter, Inc. is this year's beneficiary of the longtime fundraiser. You can hear it on WKSR or watch it on the Pulaski Citizen Facebook page or on the Pulaski Citizen Live YouTube channel. Make sure you bid high and bid often. This is week 1. We'll be covering both weeks for you. The Pulaski Board of Mayor and Aldermen will meet at noon February 18th, and among the agenda items will be a hangar at Abernathy Field. Find out more about that on page A1. And finally on the front page are chamber badge photos, and those actually continue on into A2. Also inside, the Danticleer continues with news and commentary from the past. Margaret Campbell reminds us that Valentine's Day calls for chocolate. And everybody knows that, right? It would not be a proper Valentine's Day without a playlist from our friend Trey Donovan. Flocky is our Giles County Humane Association Pet Corner Pet of the Week. And as always, the Pulaski Citizen has obituary notices, court docket, property transfers, government public notices, backward glances, fun and games, church directory, community briefs, Tennessee Valley weather, and church briefs. We've got all that, and of course, we've got sports, and here's Wade Neely to tell you all about that.
What's up, folks? Wade Neely here, sports editor at the Pulaski Citizen. Time now for a look at what's in print and what's online for the February 12th edition of the Pulaski Citizen Sports page. We got some hardware handed out last week as the Richland Lady Raiders clinched the District 10A regular season title with a pair of victories, both on the road, as they knocked off Santa Fe and Hampshire to again bring home the District 10A regular season championship. Richland rolled to a 60-26 victory versus Santa Fe, and then followed up on a return trip Friday night to Maury County with a 67-21 win versus Hampshire. The wins not only gave Richland the regular season title, but it also is going to give them the top seed in the district tournament, which begins next week, fittingly enough, at Richland. So kudos to Coach Chad Hall and all of the Lady Raiders on a big win. They took care of business in both of the contests, putting the teams to bed early. And since the score kind of got away down the stretch, got a chance to empty the bench. We saw a look at some young Lady Raiders, their first couple of big minutes in a varsity setting. So everybody got involved, and it was a good night top to bottom Tuesday and Friday for the Richland Raiders. Boys action last week, split bag. The heavy hitters were on Tuesday night. The main event, as it were, was on Tuesday night, and it was Santa Fe, that pesky 10A rival of Richland's, getting the win. Santa Fe with the win clinches their own District 10A championship. And a great game. We broadcast that one on Pulaski Citizen Live. And again, we encourage you to go back and listen to our Pulaski Citizen Live broadcast. They're all available on demand as part of our PCL coverage. Search on the Mixler app for PCL Richland. But walking it back Tuesday night, Santa Fe, Auden Slaughter, and company really took care of Richland as they kind of dominated from start to finish. Richland was able to cut into it a time or two, but could not get things done as the Raiders come up just short in their quest for a 10A title. They are most likely guaranteed, all but assured of the second seed, thanks to their win on Friday night, 68-23 versus Hampshire. But that 65-52 loss earlier in the week is all that means that they're going to get is that runner-up spot. Feels like we're on a collision course for Richland and Santa Fe in the district championship, but time will tell. But for now, it was the Raiders splitting last week's games, and they will now head into district tournament play next week. On the other side of town, Giles County, the Lady Bobcats got a nice district victory on the road yet again. GCHS dominating Marshall County last Tuesday night, 46-29. They're playing without senior Kaya Gibson, who has lost a couple of games ago with a knee injury, but they got a nice road victory versus a Marshall County team that had defeated them by 1 point in the previous meeting this season. Unfortunately for Giles County, they couldn't spin that into a second victory. They fell on the road Friday night at Franklin County, 58-39. Kind of a night where nothing really went right. Giles County trailed early. They did even take a brief lead at the end of the first quarter, but by the end of the first period of play, they were trailing by 4 and never really clawed back in it versus Franklin County. So the stage is set. Giles County with 2 more regular season district games, and they will be key. We probably will not know where GCHS, the ladies, slot in the district standings until all the dust is settled on Thursday night, the final night of the regular season. So make sure you stay tuned online and in next week's edition of the Pulaski Citizen for updates on the ladies. The GCHS boys, it was the mirror image, or the reverse, if you will. They dropped a tough one Tuesday night at Marshall County, falling 66-52. Really were stuck in neutral all night. And they did make a late push, got it to 10 or so in the fourth quarter, but never could finally get over the hump versus Marshall County, a very senior-laden squad, and GCHS falls. That's the bad news. The good news is Giles County bounced back. It was not a game for the faint of heart, but GCHS did somehow scrap and claw its way to a 35-26 victory on Friday night at Franklin County. To say points were at a premium would be an understatement, but Giles County had just enough scoring juice in the fourth quarter to get things going, and they erased an early deficit to come back and beat Franklin County. So GCHS rundown for the girls. We're not really sure where they're going to end up, but the GCHS boys, kind of the path is starting to formulate. Looks like they could finish third or possibly fourth. But again, it will be determined with our 2 games in district play this week. Finally, the Richland cheerleading squad took its act on the road. They were competing at the UCA National Championship. That's down at Walt Disney in Orlando last Saturday. We are going to have a full recap in next week's edition of the Pulaski Citizen. But for now, we have some artwork that you're going to want to check out. And we have some promising results that we can't wait to tell you about, as again, the Richland middle school and high school cheer squads were down in Orlando last Saturday. As always, words from our good friend Larry Woody. Make sure you check that out. And if you missed any of this in print, make sure you check us out online. You can read everything at PulaskiCitizen.com. That's all the time we've got for this update on the Pulaski Citizen sports page. I'm Wayne Neely saying so long here from Giles County.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily, as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
So Busy Bee is a very close-knit family. We fight just like every family does. We have arguments, but we always come out with a solution to the problems. We don't just fight about what we want, we fight about what customers need. We want to make sure that every customer we go to is more than satisfied. And that doesn't just start whenever we show up at their door, that starts when we show up every day at work. We want to make sure that we are serving our customers to the best of our ability.
He shoots, and he scores!
This holiday season, the largest lantern festival in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. Experience more than 1,000 all-new, handcrafted lanterns, towering creatures, magical worlds, and a North Pole village. At the center of it all, the Smashville Ice Rink. Welcome back to Zoolumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
So, you want to be a part of the Busy Bee team, huh? Well, how do you see yourself fitting into the organization? Oh, I get it. You want to be a weather bee.
Hello, I'm your dedicated Columbia reporter, Andrew Pearson, and this is our wrap for the week of February 12th. At the top of page A1, 15-year-old Benny Jett has published a book collecting the names and photos of almost 1,000 veterans who have lived in Spring Hill over the last 200 years. Though he completed the project substantially by himself, he couldn't have done it without the people of the town sending him information on the veterans they knew. The city of Spring Hill has agreed to join the Cumberland River Pipeline project that they broached at a meeting a few weeks ago. They'll come together with the water districts of Harpeth Valley, Columbia, Mount Pleasant, and Maury County to build the pipeline, which will send 17 million daily gallons apiece to Columbia and Spring Hill, and about half that every day to Mount Pleasant and the county. At the Knights of Columbus's annual Police Appreciation Dinner, local law enforcement agencies named their Officers of the Year. Lieutenant Jason Bobb for the Maury County Sheriff's Department, FTO Michael Schmidt for Columbia Police, Traffic Officer Sawyer Green for Spring Hill Police, and Officer Ryan Dickey for Mount Pleasant Police. The Knights also gave their charity liaison Ray Turner a Lifetime Achievement Award. At its monthly meeting, the Maury County School Board honored 34 students who got at least one perfect score on a TCAP section. They also approved an evaluation tool for the superintendent and commemorated Amy Perryman, a teacher and administrator who recently died. And county and city officials came out very strongly against a bill in the state house which would allow landfills to be dug near designated scenic rivers like the Duck. They promised to contact their own state representatives to oppose the bill. Beyond the first page, Maury Regionals reappointed 3 board members and picked 2 new ones. The Southern Environmental Law Center successfully petitioned TDEC to improve water use efficiency in exchange for increased local withdrawals from the Duck. Local financial advisor Charlie Plunkett discusses whether or not you should reinvest your dividends. Watershed Public Theater will perform the Tony Award-winning play Proof in late February and early March, and a gastroenterologist and hospitalist were hired at Maury Regional a few months ago. Anyway, that's the county news for the week. Let's go to Maurice Patton for sports coverage.
Hey, I'm Maurice Patton, sports editor at Main Street Maury. Our February 12th print edition of the paper includes a nice little honor for a couple of local individuals, one that still lives here in Maury County, one that's not far away. Columbia Central graduate Chip Walters and Mount Pleasant graduate Thomas Ray Frierson will both be among the inductees in the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association's Hall of Fame in April at a ceremony over in Murfreesboro, over at MTSU. Walters is being recognized for his service as longtime voice of high school sports, working with the state championships in basketball, in football, in spring sports, does a lot, again, of high school sports work for the TSSAA and is being recognized for that, has done that for a long time. Frierson has been an official in various sports for 50 plus years. He's worked football, basketball, volleyball, baseball, and softball. Has been great at all of it, by the way, and continues to officiate. And so for their contributions to high school sports across the state, they are being recognized. Again, they will be inducted into the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association's Hall of Fame as part of its 2025 class, along with a couple of former coaches from Father Ryan and 4 other individuals. See more in this week's Main Street Maury. Also, we've got some wrestling coverage. Postseason continues. We've got guys from Summit, Spring Hill, Independence, and Columbia Central that have qualified for this weekend's Section 3 AA tournament with their performances at last weekend's Region 6 AA tournament over at Independence. See who they are. And again, they will be competing Saturday over at Green Hill for state tournament berths. We will have coverage of that both online later this week and in next week's Main Street Maury print edition. Also, Santa Fe's boys clinched the regular season District 10 1A championship with a home court win over Richland recently. We've got coverage of that matchup as well as Richland's girls win over Santa Fe in the early game in that doubleheader. But Santa Fe continuing to roll. Coverage in print this week. Speaking of rolling, Columbia State's men's and women's basketball teams picked up a couple of victories each last week in TCCAA action. Check the print edition and see what they're up to. We've got box scores from last week. We've got this week's schedule for high school basketball action. We've also got coverage of a handful of area high school football players that have signed college scholarships. See who they are and where they are headed. We've got our area basketball scoring and 3-point shooting leaders as well. All of that is in this week's print edition of Main Street Maury, so be sure and check all of that out at racks near you. Coming up, again, we've got basketball either in or nearing postseason play. We've got high school wrestling continuing postseason action with this weekend's Section 3 tournament over at Green Hill. We'll continue to keep an eye on Columbia State as they move toward their state tournament, and catch all of that both online at mainstreetmaury.com and in print in next week's edition of Main Street Maury. I'm Maurice Patton, sports editor. We'll see y'all next week.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
So Busy Bee is a very close-knit family. We fight just like every family does. We have arguments, but we always come out with a solution to the problems. We don't just fight about what we want, we fight about what customers need. We want to make sure that every customer we go to is more than satisfied. And that doesn't just start whenever we show up at their door, that starts when we show up every day at work. We want to make sure that we are serving our customers to the best of our ability.
He shoots, and he scores!
This holiday season, the largest lantern festival in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. Experience more than 1,000 all-new, handcrafted lanterns, towering creatures, magical worlds, and a North Pole village. At the center of it all, the Smashville Ice Rink. Welcome back to Zoolumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
So, you want to be a part of the Busy Bee team, huh? Well, how do you see yourself fitting into the organization? Oh, I get it. You want to be a weather bee.
The Lawrence County Advocate starts this week with Carrie Stagg's article from the recent Kids Place Masquerade Gala, complete with photos on the front and the back of this week's edition of Lawrence County Advocate. Also on A1 is the news that Marie Brennan has been named the new director at the Lawrence County Public Library. Congratulations, Marie. Miss UNA is Lawrenceburg native Caroline Coleman. Congratulations, Caroline. And the community mourns the death of former Lawrenceburg Vice Mayor Billy Ray Helton. Inside, Loretta's Sacred Heart recently celebrated Catholic School Week. State Representative Kip Capley provides us with the legislative update. Just like Pulaski, we've got Trey Donovan's Valentine's Day playlist. The Right to Life Oratory Contest is open for high school students. We've got Gandy and New Prospect Community Clubs, December and January minutes. And as always, Lawrence County Advocate has local obituaries, local community announcements, government notices, auctions and estate sales, the forecast from Tennessee Valley Weather, puzzles, and the local church directory. In sports, the Loretta Mustangs continued to charge through their opponents last week, including a 22-point home win over rival Summertown. This week is the final week of the regular season. Loretto is 24-0 for the regular season and 8-0 in district play. They have secured the top seed of next week's District 10 2A tournament. And Summertown is also second in the district with a win over Mount Pleasant last week. Now, the district tournament is going to be in Mount Pleasant, and that's coming up next week. The Loretta girls have also secured the top seed in the district tournament on the strength of their win over Summertown last week. Allie Weathers had 25 points in that win. Summertown's girls are the second seed in the tournament as they defeated Mount Pleasant last week as well. The Lawrence County boys split games last week with the Franklin County and Tullahoma. They are preparing to start the District 8-3A tournament next week. The Lady Wildcats will also start the district tournament next week, and they as well split matchups last week. All that in the paper this week, along with all the Larry Woody that any outdoorsman could want. So make sure you pick up your copy of the Lawrence County Advocate for all the news and all the sports. And really, that's what we've got for you this week from Lawrence County Advocate Wrap. We'll be right back right after this.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather on Main Street.
Happy Wednesday, I'm Kelly Rawson in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. If you liked yesterday's rain, and more rain, that is what you can expect here in southern middle Tennessee. Once again for today, rainfall continues heavy at times, so be sure to watch for any flooded roadways and of course turn around, don't drown if you see any roadways that are flooded on your route. We will see that rain continue to move in this morning and even into the afternoon. We may see or hear a rumble of thunder or two. Overall, though, any thunderstorm activity should stay mainly to the south of southern middle Tennessee, but rain will continue again heavy at times. We eventually start to clear things out, but again, lingering showers for the evening, a little bit more spotty and less widespread, and then we start to dry things out after temperatures reach the upper 50s. Then we clear out and cool off, temperatures reaching the upper 30s for Thursday morning. The good news, though, paired with that colder air, we are going to be nice and dry. A few clouds for the morning, but then we will see a little bit more sunshine by your Thursday afternoon as that rainfall finally comes to an end. For Friday, we are looking at showers overnight, but otherwise mostly cloudy, or partly cloudy, I should say. Temperatures slightly warmer into the mid 50s, and then we warm up heading into Saturday, but that also poses a severe weather risk for southern middle Tennessee. We do have severe thunderstorms possible for Saturday into the afternoon and evening. We are expecting threats such as damaging winds, maybe some small hail, and we can't rule out a few tornadoes. So be sure to stay tuned to Tennessee Valley Weather. We will keep you updated on the flooding threat for the rest of this week as well as Saturday's severe storm threat.
Hey, that's it for this week's Morning on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee. Make sure to get a copy of your local newspaper, either online or traditional, so that you don't miss a minute of all the local coverage we've got lined up for you. For more information on subscribing, there's really one place you can go. It's mainstreetmediatn.com. That's mainstreetmediatn.com. No matter what paper you want to subscribe to, you can find out about it right there. Hey, I want to say again, thank you for trusting us as your source for local news, sports, information, and more. And good Lord willing, we'll be right back here next week. Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
So Busy Bee is a very close-knit family. We fight just like every family does. We have arguments, but we always come out with a solution to the problems. We don't just fight about what we want, we fight about what customers need. We want to make sure that every customer we go to is more than satisfied. And that doesn't just start whenever we show up at their door, that starts when we show up every day at work. We want to make sure that we are serving our customers to the best of our ability.
He shoots, and he scores!
This holiday season, the largest lantern festival in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. Experience more than 1,000 all-new, handcrafted lanterns, towering creatures, magical worlds, and a North Pole village. At the center of it all, the Smashville Ice Rink. Welcome back to Zoolumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
So, you want to be a part of the Busy Bee team, huh? Well, how do you see yourself fitting into the organization? Oh, I get it. You want to be a weather bee.